If you like this video, please subscribe and click that little bell for notifications when we release a new video. Please also consider supporting us on Patreon.
How to get better speaking on camera and how to remember your script. Welcome to Pull My Focus, Adventures in the World of Digital Filmmaking, where we give you the inside tips you need to make great video. You want to shoot a video conveying your wisdom to the world. You write up an outline, maybe even a script, but as soon as you turn the camera on, you choke. You forget what you were going to say, what you wrote, and when you do remember, it just doesn't sound right. What gives? Don't fret. Speaking on camera isn't any easier than speaking in front of a crowd. Have you ever raised your hand to speak or ask a question in a group? You probably went over what you were going to say in your head, but as soon as they call on you and you stand up and all those eyes turn to you, you get nervous and you choke. Turn on a video camera and hit record, and as soon as that red light comes on, it's the exact same thing. Speaking on camera is an acquired skill like playing a musical instrument, and some people, a few, take to it very well and quite easily, but for most of us, it takes a time and effort, a lot of practice. And it's all a very human thing. Some people say our worst fear is the fear of public speaking, but actually it's not. It's the fear of being rejected when you speak in public. We're wired as human beings to want to and need to be accepted into a group or community, because if you were, kicked out, that was a bad thing. It was a matter of survival. And so that's still with us to some degree today. With video, your brain goes to the same place because hundreds, if not thousands, of people are going to see what you record. Now, I know when I record my videos, I'm not thinking of all those people, but it's the exact same mental and physical feeling I have when I speak in front of a group. Why is that? What's going on up here? I'll leave that to science, but let's talk about what we as human beings can do about being with the fact that we're human beings. What also helps? Iced coffee. Oh yeah, that does the trick. Different tricks work for different people. For some, the words just pour out of their mouths and they're wonderful and coherent. If you've ever watched any of Peter McKinnon's video, you know what I'm talking about. He doesn't write a script, he writes an outline and he just does it. And the guy's got it. He's just great on camera, like naturally. But for me, for example, well, let's just say the words pour out. I have to write, edit, rewrite, cut down in order to get the words I want to say into a repeatable, coherent message. Otherwise, I use 10 words when one would do. Candela of luminous intensity uniformly across a solid angle of 1 steradian. The total luminous flux emitted into that. And half the time, that one word is the wrong word anyways. I mean, who knew there was a difference between nebulous and nefarious? They both sound the same to me.
They have two completely different meanings.
Thanks, honey. She's a journalist. She does words. Reading it out loud is helpful because reading text in your head is not the same thing. When you read it out loud, it will sound different because it's a different medium. One is text on the page, the other is speaking out loud. The spoken word versus the written. The next trick is to practice on video as much as possible. Emphasis on practice because this is an acquired skill. I would turn QuickTime on my laptop and just record myself there at my desk. So I wasn't doing a whole setup with lights and the camera and all that. And I would just practice on QuickTime, and then I wouldn't even save it. I would just review it, hate it, see what worked, what didn't work, not save it, delete it, and do it again. Rinse and repeat. And I would just do that over and over again, and it was a way of practicing without a lot at stake because I wasn't going to keep any of those. No one was going to see it. It got me over time out of that fear and got me into the skill of just speaking on camera and not worrying about it so much. And knowing that I could just do another take if I didn't like it. What also works for me is going through the process of writing, editing, and reading out loud the days before I'm going to shoot. This way, the concepts I want to convey and how I want to convey them are fresh in my mind and to some degree my muscle memory. Now it's time to shoot. Our scripts are usually a few pages long, and there's no way in the world I'm going to memorize all that. And I don't have a teleprompter, and I got to be honest, I don't want to use one. The trick I've learned from experts is to do it in doable chunks. I break the script up into sections. Usually a section might be 2, 3, or 4 paragraphs or so, focused around one concept or idea I want to convey. And I'll make that one shot. So I'll practice that before I record. On script, and then off. Until I feel ready, and then turn the camera on, and then I do it. Once the camera's on, that doesn't mean I'm not gonna make mistakes. I am. I'm gonna keep looking at the script at times because I'm like, wait a minute, did I get that right? Was that what I meant to say? But the beauty of video is if you make a mistake, you can just not use it, cut it out, redo it, do another take. And if it's just a word or a sentence, you don't even have to redo the whole section. You can just redo that sentence before you move on. You could just redo that sentence before you move on. When you edit, replace that read, the one that didn't work, with the one that worked. In the biz, we call that a pickup, where you're just picking up a section of the shot, not the whole shot. Now, that also leads to something else in the edit, and that is called a jump cut. So jump cuts were where you jump cut on the same shot or angle versus the camera cutting around to a different angle. And this was used big time in avant-garde cinema, and it was really looked down upon in the professional world. But now, particularly because of YouTube, it is this new invigorating part of our video editing vocabulary, and thank God. It makes shooting so much easier and faster. I mean, it helps speed up the recording process because instead of redoing the whole take, you could just redo that section, cut out whatever doesn't work. You might have read it just fine, but in the edit, you realize, you know what? It's not needed. I can cut it even more, like I should have cut it maybe in the script, but now I see it in the edit. Great, cut it out, jump cut, who cares? Let's go. If you've ever watched Phil DeFranco, you'll see it. And his videos, he covers a lot, and he does it quick, bam, 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 bam. Jump cuts, he's also friggin' fantastic. But this makes it so much easier to record yourself on camera, and therefore you can relax because if you screw it up, who cares? No one's gonna see it. You're gonna redo it. It's gonna look great in the edit, and this allows you to relax and be yourself on camera. Now, about being yourself. If you speak in public or on camera, in a way you are and aren't yourself. What I mean is you're a different facet of yourself, just like you're different at work than you are with close friends, than you are with a significant other, with family. Knowing this is helpful because you have to discover that you on camera and work on it. Otherwise, you're gonna fight it. You're gonna feel like you're fake or a phony. Don't sweat it. It really is like learning to play an instrument that requires a practice and discovery. You might feel fake or a little off at first, and that's fine. That's just you learning the notes and chords of speaking on camera. You finding your voice and your style. The key is to be able to turn on being authentic on camera so that you make a connection with the viewer. I find that when I'm honestly connected with the material that I'm conveying, I'm connected to the viewer. I'm conveying versus saying. That connecting, though, is hard to do without anyone there. It's part of the acquired skill of speaking on camera to be able to do that, to imagine that someone is there. As human beings, it's so much easier when we speak to someone who is actively listening. It kind of draws us out. If you've ever spoken where someone was distracted or not paying attention, it can actually get you in your head. It makes it hard to speak, but if someone's really there with you, it just draws you right out. When you're alone, speaking on camera, what works is to find your way of imagining someone that you're speaking to, maybe somebody that you know who really listens, or a viewer who really likes your videos and maybe they asked a question, or, for the particular video that you're doing. Speak to the person that's listening to you. Actors have their warm-up, what they do to get into character or into acting mode. Well, you're not acting, but what you are doing is turning on being confident in front of the camera and conveying to the world what you want to convey. If you feel off, what can you do? One thing that helps is to talk about the video to someone. If I'm really in my head, it's just not working, I'll call up Manu, we'll do a Skype, a Google Hangout video, whatever, and I'll talk to him about why am I stuck, and I'll get reconnected to why I want to do this video. And usually I'll find out, well, what is it that has me be stuck? Sometimes I'll just do it, I'll just turn the video camera on and I'll just talk to the camera. I don't intend to use it, but I'll talk about, okay, here's what I want to do today. Here's why I feel off. And it really does help get it out of you, whatever it is that has you be stuck. It might be that something happened that day or the day before, or it could be there's something in the script that your mind is somehow getting stuck on before you even start. But a lot of times it's just really just warming up and turning on being you in front of the camera. Musicians, warm up before they get on stage and do whatever they need to do, right? And you're going to do the same. Sometimes making mistakes and being free to make mistakes and be silly or do whatever gets you out of your skin and ready to talk to that camera and the people who are watching. Remember, it's a process to gain any skill or ability. So, give yourself the time that you need to, get good and become you, discover that you on camera. It gets easier and it's a never-ending process. Thanks for watching. Hope this was helpful. Don't forget to check pullmyfocus.tv for our companion articles that go along with our videos. And again, thanks again for watching, and make great video. You can do it. Get out there, have fun, yes. And also, coffee I find helps a lot, especially iced coffee in the afternoon. Hot coffee in the morning, iced coffee later.